Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. I want to thank everyone who's been subscribing to this channel. I want to thank everyone who's been commenting on the channel. I really want to thank everyone who's been watching these videos. That's really awesome, folks. Help the least few channels get more views. That'd be awesome, folks. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday evening, folks. It's, hooray for the weekend. So, in the latest of the films that didn't get a wide release in theaters and make much money or found their way onto the internet, the latest of these is Shin Godzilla, or known in Japan as Godzilla Resurgence. And this is the fourth incarnation of the legendary creature, because apparently Toho Studios gets constipated every time Americans remake their own Godzilla films for some reason. So in 2004, after the release of Godzilla Final Wars, that had the plot of aliens, many humans, and Godzilla fighting every single creature he's been facing off for the last 50 some odd years. Toho Studios announced basically they were done making Godzilla films. So Godzilla is back, and he has a different origin story this time around. Instead of, the atomic bomb of World War II, we have the Fukushima disaster, basically, here. So after a series of events that rocks Tokyo Bay, a ginormous creature emerges from the sea. The Prime Minister says, oh, this thing cannot walk on land, and basically it starts moving on land here, folks, and it starts to cause destruction here, folks. This leads the Prime Minister to a point. Mondo Yujichi, I don't really know much about Japanese names, so you have to forgive me here. He is then appointed to, investigate the creature. As the creature begins to evolve, he attacks first time, then goes on his hind legs, then goes veering into the sea, basically, here. The creature is now dubbed Godzilla by the U.S., basically, for some reason, because they had to go online to figure out, okay, what is this Godzilla meaning, and they only have one meaning for this. There you go, so the Japanese are foreigners of their own concept here. The U.S. then sends an envoy by the name of Kaio Ann Patterson, whose grandmother was Japanese, but she's lived most of her life in the States. She wants Yujichi to actually find a disgraced scientist who went missing early on in the film, and he has some connection to the reason of why, Godzilla is the way this creature is, basically, here. What you can do here is you can view this film as a really dark satire on bureaucracy, because here's the thing, and usually in Godzilla films, they usually deal with some lower middle-end bureaucrats and some civilians who get stuck with helping the bureaucrats fight Godzilla and the monster, and some military people who just want to, do their thing. Here you get all the higher-ups of the bureaucracy, and here, okay, what do we do? They have meeting after meeting. They have to have certain rooms to have meetings, basically, here. And they also have decorum for who can speak at one certain time here, folks. And of course, they also then hire the misfits of the government, who basically realize, oh shit, we have to save the government. These people are relatively black sheep. And also the titles of these people get longer and longer and longer, and sometimes they make fun of that because one takes up half the screen here. And also the self-defense forces cannot get their shit together. They eventually do, but guess what? The creature is attacking the cities, and basically, they're destroying their own cities here, folks. And Patterson wants, to put nuclear bombs on Tokyo or to destroy this creature. Yujichi was like, okay, what are you actually thinking here? It's been so many years since the atomic bomb. People are, aging out, basically. I don't remember that. Again, Godzilla here is what Godzilla has always been, as originally envisioned. A giant dumb animal, wreaking havoc. Not an anti-hero. He's not the anti-hero going up against a giant monster who himself is big and destructive. And some people are like, oh, it's not a man in a Godzilla suit. No, this Godzilla is CGI. There is some animatronics here when the Godzilla is just a really ugly-ass fish here. And it's like, I think you need to do that because, quite frankly, yes, you do get the iconic music of when Godzilla is emerging, or the iconic yell of Godzilla here. I was one of those. I love a lot of those Godzilla movies. Yes, some of them are so beyond bad, they're actually amazing. You just have to watch them to believe them here, folks. And it's like, although I'm a fan of the second iteration of Godzilla, because that second iteration went darker than less camp here, folks. And basically here, when Godzilla destroys a city, he actually destroys the city. It's not one of these fake-looking cities that you often see in Godzilla. It actually feels like an actual city that Godzilla is destroying, and it takes the world to figure out, okay, what do we want to do with this creature here? There's not any of that bad mouth dubbing. It's actually subtitles here. Film directors here realize, hey, look, you can't people need to be intelligent enough to actually read subtitles. Otherwise, it's like, yes, who doesn't miss the obvious, bad mouth dubbing, If there's something here that doesn't necessarily work, it's Patterson. And again, I don't fault the actress here, but it's like, if they're trying to intentionally make it so the fact that she doesn't really know the language, even though her own language is, considering her grandmother is Japanese and she's more or less American, and she wants to be president of the United States for some bizarre reason, even though she's in her 40s. That doesn't necessarily work. I don't fault the directors for that. Will this lead to, more rebooting of the other Godzilla monsters? I really don't know. I hope it's less campy, And folks, Shin Godzilla, I think it's one of the better Godzilla films that, specifically for the Japanese variety. So what I'm going to do here is I'm giving this a leave work early rating. Clearly, this is one of the better Godzilla films that you've ever seen. So folks, what is your favorite Godzilla film? Put that in the comment section, folks, below. As always, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks.